like we always do about this time. Ha, 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 if you know that intro. Van Styles, Tash to the left of me, Nate and Hush behind the cameras. We got Dizasta in the place to be, and we got Sauce Yin in the place to be.
Yes,
Welcome,
sir.
you guys.
Yes.
Like we were like, and shout out to our biggest supporter, Funk Flex. We see you out there, and it's time. It's time right now. You guys are gonna like. You got what comes out of your mouth next has to be the craziest thing that's ever been said in 2025 on the interwebs.
I can see you got to let him. He got some crazy.
But first, we got to do the coronation. We got the Dookie chains here.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, you're gonna have to take the hat off, and then we're gonna have to Dookify you.
Shit.
Okay. You're blessed.
Yes.
You gotta take the headphones. Oh, the headphones.
The headphones had to come off for a second. Van wasn't very fucking. He didn't exactly.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, he didn't.
Sorry, I didn't lead into that too well. That was a bumpy landing right there.
It's all right. That's what he's known for. So, first things first. Where you guys from?
Worcester, Massachusetts.
Worcester, Mass. Can you bring that mic a little closer to you?
Worcester, Massachusetts.
Same thing with you too. Bring that mic a little closer to you. Boom. How about yourself? Where you guys from?
Upstate New York, Rochester.
Upstate New York, Rochester.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, how do you guys meet each other?
Through the music game, actually. We've been on a lot of different like playlists together, radio playlists, DJ playlists. You know, A likes, B alike, so they see alike, and basically just been reaching out to each other, working. Actually, shout out to Sam Buck, because Sam Buck initially is how I got put on to him.
Well, that's because he's Rochester, New York, which you were telling me is right between Syracuse and Buffalo. Mm-hmm. So we got the Sam Buck Griselda connection.
Yeah. yeah. You already know.
Yeah,
so.
I met Sam like 3 years ago before he even started his journey.
Yeah.
Like I brought him up to Maine in the middle of fucking butt nowhere, and like at a Hush. You were there at that, weren't you? Yeah. I brought him up to do a comedy show in the middle of Maine, like fucking 3 years ago, in the middle of buttfuck, before Griselda, before the podcast, before all of it.
So you're almost saying that you're responsible for Buck being on. This is an exclusive right now.
That is what I said.
Exactly what you said.
That's exactly word for word what I said. So you got me. But anyways,
the game is transitioning into a whole different. Like, you know, I'm fairly young, or I like to think so at least. You know what I'm saying? I'm only in my mid-30s. But I done seen the game from a young age as to how it used to be ran to how it is now. Everything's all digital, and the interviews, the podcast, the media. It's
not dial-up internet now.
It's
although that might be a little bit before your time. But what was your? Do you remember your introduction to hip hop?
I would say it was WuTang, so rightfully so. That's why I've been blessed to be around. But
which song or album?
I couldn't say a specific song or album. I could say that I mainly listened to the Enter the 36 Chambers, the original one.
Yeah.
I started learning about
tape or CD.
The CD.
Okay.
I've heard it on tape though too several times. But basically transitioned from there, listening to Pac, going forward. My mom's husband, he was in my life, so I was grateful enough to get introduced to the real hip hop.
Strictly or Me Against the World?
Me Against
or
the World.
Tupacalypse Now.
Well, but Tupacalypse Now is before the WuTang album, so you gotta come on, you gotta know your history.
Yeah, man.
These guys know their history.
Damn, that's
come on, man.
And actually,
letting Funk Flex down.
I remember one of my first CDs that I got was from my aunt. It was I think it was Enter the 36. The Wu Chronicles, Chapter 2.
Oh yeah.
And that's
there we go. Wu Chronicles.
Which that was on cassette too. That was early enough.
That's where the Buddha Monk gots like come on through that song. That's when it was on there. That's how I got to know who Buddha Monk was.
Okay.
Yep.
So your introduction to hip hop is WuTang 36 Chambers.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're gonna fast forward like all the way up right now. We're gonna fill the blanks back in, but aren't you signed to like WuTang Management or something like that now?
So
I'm
Straight Up Entertainment. I'm Dirty Klansman, Dirty Klansman General, which is an official WuTang affiliate clan.
Okay, so that's what I'm getting at right there. So when you start this journey and you're like buying the WuTang, CD, At what, like 13 years old, something like that?
Yeah, well, it was a gift. It was gifted to me. Yeah.
Well, just so you know, too, if you had a WuTang CD at 13 years old, doesn't make you hip hop.
No, of course not. Of course not.
That got dropped today. That's all I'm saying. But the fact that and it's just weird that he bought a WuTang CD at 13 years old. That just fits right into that.
You know, I've always been hip hop inclined earlier on than that, but like I mainly grew up. You know, I'm Puerto Rican, so I grew up in a Puerto Rican household, listening to Spanish music, freestyle on Sundays, house music.
Big L or Big Pun, who's better?
Oof, Big L. I had to say Big L for witty, but song wise, I'd go Big Pun.
Yeah, I mean, Capital Punishment as a.
But imagine like you're like, okay, so first of all, 36 Chambers. Hearing 36 Chambers when that came out, like that. Not only like being a new hip hop head, the first thing you hear is 36 Chambers. I always like to find like where people came into the game because you kind of see where hip hop was at. So their mentality is like, this is what I think hip hop is. For like like if you came in under Kanye, like you think that's hip hop. You come into Mac Miller, you think that's hip hop. You come in under like this newer shit, you think that's hip hop. You come in under like Cool G Rap, you think, you get what I'm saying? Like,
well, see, so the way that I initially came in officially into hip hop, I met my pops around 11 years old, like my real father.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, and he was already inclined. He was
hip hop.
He was already in the game, dealing with Crumb Snatcher. So I actually met Crumb Snatcher at a young age. I was blessed to be in the studio around them. I was around Edo G. I was around all the the legends at a very young age.
Wait, what was your pops doing that he was with Crumb Snatcher and all that?
Elder Head Toucher.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of him?
Yeah.
So he's from
Larry
Worcester.
Chiba. Is that what he changed his name to?
That's the older guy. He was initially he's from Worcester. So my
I didn't realize that.
My pops was all that clan, Night Peoples. And
okay.
So.
Wow. Do any of you remember the WuTang Enter the WuTang 36 Chambers CD where it was like misprinted on all the CDs,
no.
like over? Okay,
it's like that's like some the chronic shit.
Yeah,
but I kind of want to just if everyone's even if you were already into hip hop, everyone's introduction to 36 Chambers kind of just took everything and turned it on its fucking head because nothing sounded like that, especially on cassette tape. But then like for it to be like kind of your official, not the official introduction, but like your first kind of head first jump into
that's kind of what initiated me to want to explore it a lot more. Was that sound.
So if you took that kid and was like, hey, you're going to be an official Wu-Tang affiliate when you're older, does he believe you?
I would say so. I've always had a if it's to be, it's up to me type of mentality.
Manifest.
Yeah, so it's like and I don't know. It's just I probably would have never like imagined it, but to not believe like till this day I still believe that certain things can happen that a lot of people they'll try to tell you, oh no, either you're too old or why are you doing that? But I'm a firm believer in that if you really want it to happen, you'll make that shit happen no matter what.
First off, fuck anyone telling you not to do anything. Like they can just suck a dick. Like they just like people.
Remember when we weren't going to swear on this show?
I think it's after the first.
I just thought about that when
it's
I dropped it. I was like,
fucking suck a dick. God.
Isn't it like the first 30 seconds or some shit like that?
Oh, I don't know.
But regardless, the only people that tell you not to do stuff are people that are scared to do stuff.
Yeah, man, you know
what I mean? Like that's the only people that are going to tell you not to do something.
I've accomplished a lot of accolades that go unnoticed and unrecognized, but I know I still got a lot more, and I know my recognition is due. So,
well, hip hop to me is like it's a genre of music and art where like if you're willing to go to the places and get dirty, you can move fast. Like in hip hop, you know what I'm saying? If you're willing to be hip hop, you're willing to actually go into the spaces that hip hop is actually at, not like online. If you're actually willing to go in person to the places, shake their hands, meet the people, and do the thing. Like hip hop is something like the same people you were listening to as a child, like with posters on the wall, are your like, you know what I'm saying?
It's very of the people. Legends are out there. You can shake hands
with them very easily, and they'll break bread with you and study with you.
That I've looked up to like on some idol type shit, and then I go around them, and you're like, oh, word, you trying to give me some of your food? Like, nah, I'm all set.
Who's one example who you really clicked with that you were like in awe? Or young you would have been like, this is crazy.
Inspector Deck. Inspector Deck. Like one of the most humble dudes that I've met that's actually on that level, that tier level. And just being around him, like being able to build with him in the studio to play my beats and actually have him vibe and give me input, like it's amazing, you know what I mean? Because I know there's people out there nowadays that charge hundreds and thousands of dollars for just simple consultation fees, just to tell you what direction to go.
Well, that's another thing about hip hop being for the people. Mm-hmm. If you know people, like You can save yourself. Yeah, it's really comes down to just your network in hip hop. If people like you, you can get a lot of.
Listen, if we want to talk about anything and put anything so that we have like clips of, it's about the payola and the shit that's going on in the industry. Excuse my language.
Yeah,
but you have to understand. Like I said, you could Google my stuff. I've done so many things. I've been around so many lights of people. I've conquered so many ciphers. I've done so many things that go unnoticed. But it's all about the payola. Who's willing to do what, right, for you if you don't do it yourself.
Yeah.
And it sucks, because then a lot of talent gets swept under the rug that way. And then you got what we call basura on the airway or getting that promotion and getting pushed out there. Like,
does that mean wastebasket?
Like, I don't want to say no names or nothing, but like I'll be seeing these on the radar freestyles of certain rappers and I'm like, yo, how in the like, damn, I just want to go there and start wringing necks.
Nah, no cap.
But it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, eventually you get that push through as long as you stay consistent. Like, I look at M. Dot. You guys had M. Dot on here not long ago. Back in the day, I seen his come up from when he was just walking around Faneuil Hall, passing out CDs, selling CDs, doing what he was doing, footwork, hand in hand, to what he's doing now, being able to distribute albums all over the world from his house.
That's what I mean exactly right there. If you're willing to go and do the thing and get dirty, like hip hop's something that you could actually, because hard work's respected.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even need to have like the big label behind you to carve out. Like, maybe you're not going to have billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? But you can like someone like Anems, who just dropped his new album.
Oh yeah,
like,
shout out
but
to
with the merch behind it and shit, and like the website and the merch and the like all the shit that's added to it, like, you can be very successful and do very well for yourself by being independent if you go about it the right way and like you're consistently, like you're saying, consistent about the shit.
Exactly.
You know, you don't gotta actually be the same with the way it was back in the fucking day. It's just crazy that you can just be a WuTang affiliate. I mean, you obviously. So what the first time you were around like WuTang, right?
Yeah.
What's that like? As like a because you're a hip hop fan.
So I tell you right. So all right, I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I got stories for days. So
nice.
Let's hear them.
Yo, one time I was 18 years old and we was driving to New York, me and Jimmy, and he got invited to a Tony Touch event.
Shout out Jimmy Kane.
Shout out to Jimmy
WuTang
Kane.
Management, Straight Up Entertainment.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So and I wasn't old enough at the time. Plus I didn't have my license on me, and we was with my baby mama, so we was all driving. So Jimmy made a couple phone calls. He was like, yo, you know how to work Pro Tools, right? I go, of course. And so you make sure you know how to work every DAW system possible, just in case. You never know. So I was like, yeah. So we drive to Jersey real quick, and he drops me off at the official Wu Mansion.
Oh, shit.
Where Freedom was there waiting for me. Brought me to the basement where they record legendary things. The same Wu Mansion that's in the Hulu show and everything.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, my baby mom's pregnant with my son. She was sleeping on the couch. And till this day, I don't even think she understands the severity of that situation, or at least in my eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that where that's where they recorded the whole fucking the Forever, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, the whole second album.
The other one was at the house, and then they had the issues, and then they had to re-record it.
Yeah, they were like RZA said he rented the whole. Oh, he said the whole house he rented out, and they fucking just to record that album and shit. It was like the White Mansion and shit.
Yeah. So they still got it.
Yeah, with the big piano and shit in that motherfucker. Yeah. It was in the source.
So I didn't get a chance to do the little tour thing. You know, I didn't want to act like a fanboy and all that, but it was just a blessing just to be in that situation at my age. So
who was there then?
It was Freedom, a gentleman named Freedom. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where he fit into the whole WuTang affiliate stuff.
I'm not sure what his play was, but
okay.
I know he was working on an album, and at the time he just needed somebody to work on the Pro Tools. But it was just a blessing. So shout out to Jimmy for making that happen.
Yeah,
and that's a little side note right there. It's kind of what you just said. Like, make sure you know how to work everything, because a lot of people don't, like, all they can do is record something. They don't even know how to like make their own shit or do their own shit. But like, you never know when an opportunity presents itself to like, hey, can you do this? Next thing you know, you're on some legendary shit. We've heard enough stories by this point in time that like people just being in the usually the right place, right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
check this. One day, we was chilling with Junior Reed, Jimmy and us. We was chilling with Junior.
Oh yeah, just chilling with Junior Reed.
We were with Chris Gotti. We seen Chris Gotti. No, it was Irv. Excuse me. At the studio, right? And then at the time he goes, "Yo, who knows how to work this?" Again, sat down right there. Ja Rule's in the next room recording. It was a track that they both had that they were recording, and I recorded Junior Reed's part.
Oh wow! Did anybody hear the Ja Rule Metallica song that they re-put up recently?
I kind of been away from the Ja Rule wave.
Ja Rule Metallica.
You're missing out on nothing. Basura.
I've been strictly boom bap these days.
What does Ja think about this? That was weird. That like the whole joke of like what does Ja think about this? Like because the Dave Chappelle thing of like when 9/11 and everything. But then when fucking like Gotti died, like Ja Rule didn't say anything, and that was like the one time that people probably did want to hear from Ja Rule what Ja Rule thought about that. So
he had just gotten out of jail at that time too. So we have photos and everything that was on allhiphop.com. So.
And Fire Festival is supposedly coming back. I don't know if anyone watched that documentary.
There's a lot of new festivals that's been popping up. I've been getting hit up
because that was Ja Rule and I forget the name of the other guy. Oh. That was their festival. You got to watch the documentary on Hulu.
I remember hearing about it. It was a tragedy, right, or something like that. It was like, it
was like a whole ridiculous thing.
You're a kid. You're in the studio. Crumb's in there. Your pops is in there. Edo's in there. They're doing like old school legendary Boston shit.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And Elda Head touch.
At what point in time, like, are you like, I can do this? Like from the WuTang albums you buy in.
So I was 16 years old recording music, like my first recorded song, 16 years old, and it was with Elder Head Toucher. I remember I recorded over it was a Prodigy song, Infamous, Up in This, you know how we get down. Is that your girl? We did we took that instrumental and we remade it, and that was on my 16th birthday. I remember I walked in the studio at the Armory, that's what it used to be called, where Slane used to record.
Yep.
And Larry Cheaper was there, and he's fam, so I was just like, yo, L, roll this up, let's do this joint. He goes, I bet. Put it on, and he just wrote it real quick and laid it down. So
that's one of those things, right, where we talk about how now that hip hop is fucked up because there's no gatekeeping is fucked up in itself, but there's like there used to be a little bit of it because like you had to like have money to go to the studio, you had to write, you had to actually go to a studio, you had to get an engineer, you had to get like it was a whole fucking process to make even one song cost thousands of dollars to make.
I mean, it still is a process, and songs still cost thousands if you want it to be heard.
Done right. My point being though in this is that like you kind of just like fell into something nice where you could just like because of how you grew up and the access you had, like you would just already like boom, like it's
we haven't even started talking about the whole Sean Price chapter, but
yeah. Well, it reminds me like the Steph Curry shit, like Del Curry just bringing him to the court, like Jason Tatum with his kid, just bringing him to the court all the time. So you get access to like coaches and fucking agents and like
sports players.
Like all like you get access to like the like trainers and like just all the inner workings of all the shit that actually makes the machine move. You're meeting all those people too, because like some people think, oh, the guy in the fucking booth is the guy. Yeah, that's the guy, but there's also like 10, 15 other people that are making this machine, if it's a successful machine, like making it work.
Did you know the most successful Jamaican reggae label in the world, VP Records, is owned by a Vietnamese dude?
No.
It's crazy. Yo, I'm telling you, we was with Junior Reed one day. He went to go collect a check. We went there. Asian dude comes out, dark skinned. He's like, Wagwan. I'm like, yo, is he speaking patois?
Yeah.
It lets me feed into my quick shit in Southie, growing up in Southie. I didn't grow up in Southie, but I had family in Southie and shit. And my uncle lived between N and O. His neighbor was a very old Asian dude who was from Ireland. So he spoke in a brogue. Like, it just fucking used to just fuck my brain all the fucking way. Because he looked like Mr. Miyagi. But he wear like the sheep
accent.
He wear the sweaters and shit and the scally cap and the whole fucking nine. It was wild. And yeah, so... Tom Hanks in it over there with the patois.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Hanks' son, what the fuck was Chet Hanks? Wasn't he doing the Jamaican fucking talk there for a while? Yeah, he was. Tom Hanks' kid was doing like patois for a while. He was like at the Golden Globe.
Yeah, that was his kid? It was like an island boy type thing going on there.
Weird fucking chick. I don't know. White Boy Summer, some shit like that.
Hey, yo. But
I don't know, bro.
To segue back to knowing how to work everything, right? to making sure that it's because your opportunities, you never want to minimize your opportunities, right? You guys have gone through many endeavors in the hip hop game. You're even exploring the podcast, and you've done shows, you've done radio shows, everything.
And I've somehow found a way to not pick anything up during all that time on like audio, video.
DJ something, right?
I still come in here and I'm like just looking big-eyed at Tash and Hush.
Listen,
how do we set this camera up?
I learned how to make beats, and that was probably the best thing that I had ever did, because when I started building with cats in the studio, bringing them to paying for sessions, having like Rusty Jukes come through, I'm making beats, and then they leave, and then I hop on the track. They come back. They're like, "Yo, who the fuck is that?" I'm like, "Yo, that's me." They go, "Wait, you still too?" I'm like, "Yo, I'm a rapper before."
Wait, so you're making a beat for somebody like Rusty Jukes, and he comes back from lunch break, and there you are on the track that he was working. I like that
album with him. So
that's very proactive. Okay, Dizzy.
Rockness hopped on it, right? And
nice.
They go, "Yo, I'm gonna go to lunch real quick. We're gonna go grab some lunch, blah 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 blah, whatever." And the beat is just knocking. I'm like, yo, fuck that. I'm hopping in the booth. Boom. Went in there, laid it down. Then they come back, and then he goes, wait, who's that? I'm like, yo, that's me. He goes, oh, you be spitting? I'm like, bro, I'm a rapper before. See, I don't even pay attention. That's the thing.
As a producer, so I'm rewatching Straight Outta Compton this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm, just regular watch for breakfast. Did you ever have any of the like situations with the punch-ins, like they got Eazy-E having to punch in each like half a line?
That's how he did. So last night,
okay, Sassian steps into the mix.
Yeah,
okay,
we was recording. Go ahead. We was recording a joint last night, and that's how he records. He spits some sick bars, and then he just boom comes in. My bad, does the punch in, and then he just. I'm a straight through dude. I like to just boom, do it straight through. But he does the.
So opposite styles there.
That's how Capadona records too.
Oh, he does the punch-ins?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's how this man records right here.
How did you used to do it?
I like to record my whole verse in one take because I could get my emotion behind. And like sometimes,
oh yeah, you were saying you wanted to really memorize the verse.
You got to memorize it. That way you can like fuck with the words of it. Mm-hmm. And also like if you get through like 3/4 of it, you can start like 3/4 of the way through. But you want to get like some momentum. You want to at least get 8-10 bars out before like you make a punch. That was and then you want to go back and double it over with your doubles and shit like that. But you want to like, you know what I'm saying? But we'd also do some shit like if you get like highs and lows, you can do like a bar. And then, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to like act it out and shit, there's ways to hit it because you can go over your bar. You know what I'm saying?
Like I punch in if I want to emphasize a certain word or something like that, then I'll do that as a punch in. But for the most part, it's just straight through.
Yeah, for the most part, But like people like ODB would go in there and spit one word. He'd be like cockroach.
Yeah,
and then like they go back and they'd be like
4 to 8 bars,
and it'd fucking hit like say like some other word and then like some other word and like eventually all the spaces would be filled in.
So, hell for the engineer and producer.
Yeah, I was RZA talk about that shit.
Okay.
Like it took fucking forever to record that motherfucker, but he was good at what he did. Like he had an unorthodox way of doing that shit.
It puzzled together like a beautiful thing.
You and I were talking about before we turned the cameras on the dirty version. So but the Buddha Monk's book, about ODB.
Got a show this weekend coming up in New Jersey, Rutherford, New Jersey.
Wait, so when was the first time? Because Buddha Monk is like, I think from undergroundhiphop.com times, our funniest interview ever was with Buddha Monk. He's just such a personality. Do you remember the first time you met him?
Yeah, so Jimmy one year, shout out to Jimmy again. Yeah, he gave me a budget, and I had to book an artist every month. And again, I knew Buddha Monk because of that album. So I was like, oh, he was on the list of people I could bring up.
The WuTang Chronicles album.
Yeah, so he was on this list that I had of artists that I could hit up and reach out and to book.
You're like, I might have to.
Yeah, so I hit him up, and he brought him out. And from there, he just started, because, he's a socially inclined person. He just started making connections as soon as he came out to the Massachusetts area, and he just never left.
So you're what brought him here, okay?
Not me. I mean, yes, essentially, me and Jimmy did bring him out for the show, but like he just like never left.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say he moved in. He's in Worcester now.
He started building connections.
So
and stuff.
I know nobody likes like a label, but like what are you? What do you do?
Yo, Dizzy. That's why they call me Dizzy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm all over the place. At the end of the day, that's where I took your interview serious, the last one, because everyone puts into a part of hip hop, right? Like you guys are hip hop in a sense because you guys have a face, you guys are a brand, people watch you.
Oh, you're talking about the Benzino interview.
But I feel like I'm hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like I am. So it doesn't matter. I do artwork. I never knew I fucking do artwork. I'm an artist now. Now I've been wanting to start to do my own shit because people lackadays with your stuff, right?
Yep.
So I've been creating my own covers. I'm an artist now.
Not more hip hop than that.
Yeah,
shit.
I would consider that hip hop, but as I was saying to Hush, if your definition of hip hop is you have to be
I make the music.
black from the ghetto, specifically a certain part of New York, then
Listen,
this
first
person's
of
only
all,
hip
I am
hop.
from the ghetto, but that doesn't make you
That doesn't make you hip hop either.
Your struggle is your hip hop.
Sticky
right?
already talked about that.
When you embrace the music of
But
hip-hop,
people have different definitions.
Yeah, everybody has different definitions.
Like, what is God?
But that's
Okay.
like saying, all right. But that's like
Maybe.
saying, okay, what makes you a Spanish person, right? Why? Because
Well, what makes me a Spanish
you speak
person is-
Spanish, right? That's what most
Yeah.
people would define it as, right? But then you go and live in Puerto Rico. You go to Puerto Rico, you see some of the most whitest people you've ever seen there, and they are more Boricua than a lot of Spanish people I know that live in the United States. They do, you know what I mean? So it's like it's just when you
Well, as Puerto Rican, has anybody ever tried to pull your card and be like, you're not hip hop?
Oh, I mean, I've had
Not that that's ever happened
I've
to
had
us
a
white
bunch of
folks.
people do that too, but at the end of the day, like, there's so many different likes of people that do hip hop. There's some great Puerto Rican rappers. There's great Kenyan rappers. There's great
No,
Nigerian.
but especially there was even Benzino was talking about it. He was like, yes, Puerto Ricans were part of the formation of hip hop, but you have somebody like Lord Jamar that says no.
I mean,
I saw it talked about
shout
this.
out to Lord Jamar.
Out of the hundreds and hundreds of comments that I saw on that last post that we're talking about, like the best, I could never like say the words better than this.
Oh, on the Benzino post.
On the Benzino shit, somebody was like, well, like white people being guests in the house of hip hop.
Yeah.
Now I get that white people didn't create the first bars or the first break beats. I understand that, but someone was like, yo, is Michael Jordan a guest in the house of basketball? And it just
Look at Naismith.
immediately
Naismith was the one that invented it.
my fucking brain went,
Shout
oh
out
my
to
god,
Springfield.
like
Shout out to
oh my
Springfield.
fucking god, like yo. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's what it and that's ended it for me. Because like you want to give respect, like respect to the actual the people that I know about. Cool, I know about this shit. Like I studied this shit. That's why I'm good at what the fuck I do. Because I was there for this shit. So it's like that to me is what qualifies you.
Yeah.
You know, you put the work in, you put the study in, and you fucking know the culture and you live a culture.
When you contribute to the culture,
yeah.
you're not just taking away from it or trying to ride the wave for the culture.
You're pushing the culture forward some way.
You guys ain't just doing these interviews with these artists and these rappers because you're like, oh, we could ride on their wave. No, you're doing it because you're already in tune.
Because it makes us
What's
millions.
crazy
You
is
guys are in tune.
the clickbait shit. That wasn't even like, yo, I didn't even think he was going. I had like 50 more questions. Like I didn't even think that was going to be like getting him. I didn't. That was not what we were trying to do right there. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to have a serious discussion about the source. You know what I mean? But I don't want to keep talking about that though. But the point being is like, when someone said, is Michael Jordan and Bill Russell guests in the house of the NBA, in the house of basketball, like my fucking whole brain just went, oh my God, like that is the best way to look at that. And I understand that white people have stolen music and I get it. We all get it. That's why I was like, I hate white rappers. Like, cause for that, those white
I was
rappers,
offended by that.
You know, but we all know those, they don't like hip hop. They don't like rap, but they like Eminem. Like, I don't like those motherfuckers. Like, that's taking away from my culture.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't give a fuck about it. No one can tell you shit anyways. Hip hop is not letting anyone tell you shit.
See, I always say this, right? Like, there is a fine line as to like good music, obviously, and bad music, because you do have a lot of people that take away from the culture, and it kind of saturates it, and that's what creates a lot of the hostility, right? It's because a lot of stuff gets passes, but then again, it goes to Payola.
So tell us about some
It's
Payola.
gentrification.
Tell us about some motherfucking Payola.
I keep saying
Yeah.
it because
You keep bringing it up.
because
What
it's
is Payola for the people?
So
Yeah.
Payola, all right, like you want to get on certain things, certain platforms, you want to do certain things, and these people, to an extent, they're rightfully owed it because they have a viewing platform, right? But they'll be like, okay, yeah, you want to get played on this radio playlist, $400, $500.
It's like it doesn't come down to skill.
Shade 45, $1,000. Do stuff like that, and it's like, it's hard because the average working person don't got it like that. They're not willing to invest, or they got other things going on, but they're so talented. And then you hear this garbage stuff getting put on, and you're like,
So are you a Glorilla fan?
no,
Is this
not in the slightest.
Is this like a DJ thing? Is this a program director thing? Is this like a fucking saturated through the whole fucking industry?
I think it could say it's a combination of it all, because as long as someone's getting greased, stuff is always gonna be passed through.
So do you know specific DJs who have taken payola to put people on the radio? Even if you're not comfortable saying names, which I hope you are.
I do.
Oh, who did you? Who?
And then I'm not.
Because like college radio at WERS,
to each his own. Everybody got to eat, right? Everybody got to eat. And,
I mean, it was JayZ and Dame Dash talking about coming in with the duffel bag of money to first get their shit on.
Listen, I always say though, let a motherfucker get on, son. I will tear it up. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, put me on, and I will tear it up.
And they're like, no problem. I need 20K.
Exactly. And when you earn your accolades, right? It's not like it's saying it's like, oh, I'm just some newbie or I'm not consistent. You see a man dropping stuff. You see the videos. You see that video streams just streamed up to 55K.
We had Ramiro from Ramiro and Pebbles in here, and he says he turns the music all the way off when he's
of course. And the radio,
and he thinks about what he's going to say next. So it's just they don't care.
It's the same thing over and over. That's all it is. That's why if you play it on the radio, right? Like I have an office situation because I do marketing and sales throughout my life. No matter what, everybody got to make a living, right? Even Master Ace said it. But and you listen to the radio, I swear you hear the Jelly Roll song like 38 times a day. It's a great song, but
you know he used to be a juggalo.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
He might have the tattoos and everything.
Oh yeah. But it's just a lot. It's just a lot, man. That's, you know what I mean? Like, there's no real platforms for that boom bap anymore like that. And the stuff that there is still monetized or is still directed by who's ever greasing the system a little bit more.
So where are people going to hear your music?
I mean, I'm on Shade 45, on DJ Mega, Jive Supreme, Rock City Radio, all different mixtape DJ platforms, DJ Eclipse, Static Selector. I mean, we get love, we get plays. I'm on. I have a Vivo, YouTube, iTunes.
Because there's more Dizzy Disastas on Apple Music.
Yeah, there's one more, but I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever thought about battling for the name?
I mean, I would definitely destroy him because I know who the
is that an official challenge right now?
Right.
Listen,
shit.
We can look right into this camera right now.
I keep $1,000 cash on me. Let's go.
Shit. You have to reach out to Dizzy
With the
Dizasta.
freestyle or do it like I'm from the freestyle battle eras. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
Shout out to Mr. Green because when he first started out, he was at Clark University, and I used to be in the Onslaught battle circuits. That's where Professor, the lyrical.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, lyrical.
That's where he was coming up too. Peter Parker, all of them, they were all there, and I was a little kid just doing all these battles. And Mr. Green,
wait, did Young Young Hush?
You and
you
guys ever battle?
I did a lot of the leads.
Probably you remember Joe from Onslaught Battle Circuit?
Nah, I didn't do that.
He used to run that. The little Mexican kid from.
I did like leads and like some Red Bulls.
It was at Clark University back in the day. That's that's how Mr. Green, when he first started, he had C-Ray's Walls coming, staying at his crib, sleeping on the ground.
Yeah.
Hip hop, bro. Hip-hop.
If you haven't had C-Ray's Walls sleeping on
Crashing
the couch
at
or the
your
ground
crib.
at your crib, then you are not hip
The
hop.
first person we ever opened up for was C-Ray Walls.
Yeah, that's what's up,
yeah.
bro.
Fucking.
Yo, you guys used to do the underground hip hop, right?
Him.
Yeah, so
I did, but he had a group called AWOL.
that's what I'm saying. So like my one of my earlier shows that I remember going to with Jimmy was the J. Rue the Damaging one.
Okay, yeah, that.
That show always resonates to me because that's the first time I ever found out to put character into showmanship. When he used to tell jokes in between.
He's a funny, yeah.
Shit had me rolling, man.
J. Rue he's smart. He just totally relocated to Europe.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I go where I'm appreciated.
So what kind of music? What would you've said boom bap a few times now. Would you describe your music as boom bap?
For the most part, I say it's boom bap.
Boom bap.
I mean, I could branch out and do other styles, and I've had.
Can you do the Drunken Monk or the Drunken, what's the ODB style?
I could do them all. I've done drum and bass. Even I could branch out.
When people say boom bap, I'm like always just like, you mean like hip hop?
Yeah,
like you mean just regular rap music, right?
It's,
That's what
it's
you mean?
considered. I mean, because you got avant-garde rap.
Yeah,
nowadays,
it's like
too.
now it's
drumless,
goofy,
stuff like
shit,
that.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I've been venturing off into drumless as
But
well too.
lyrical hip hop.
Yeah, exactly.
But like Sassian and I were discussing, because he's got the Trill tattoo, we were discussing the OG Bun B, and like that's not boom bap, right?
But it's still lyrical.
Yeah, so it's
he's
like
younger. He's younger too, though.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Oh,
Just
young
turned
buck.
29.
Man.
Young buck in the studio. Wait, what was your introduction to hip hop?
Who, me?
Yeah, the first time. The first time you remember hearing hip hop, or like,
Andre 3000.
okay, which track or album? You remember? Because
was a lot.
Outkast
My
could
sister
speak for
used to
different
listen to-
decades.
My sister used to listen to Outkast a lot. So it was just playing a lot.
In upstate New York?
Nah, my sister, like, I used to go visit my sister in, like around, like, Middletown, New York, like, near New York City, like, an hour away.
Okay.
And then we used to just go visit her. She used to have, like, a mix CD with, like, Biggie and, like, probably a little bit of Tupac, but it was mostly, like, 3000 on the tape.
Since you're in your 20s, who's your favorite rapper that's come out?
Nas.
No, I was gonna put the addendum that has come out in the past 5 years, like of the younger generation. I'm actually interested to hear yours
he said
too.
Nas with
Do you
the
listen
quickness.
to like music from the last 5 years?
Bro,
Are you into it?
I tell him every day.
Because you said
every
no
day
to
is one
Glorilla
artist.
invitation.
Yeah, no, none of that shit. Every day I listen to a different artist.
Okay.
That's on the rise, and right now the
Explain this process.
Yeah.
it's like, because when I listen to the, it's
like a meditation.
So I have like an email blast list of like 3,000 DJs.
I was gonna
right?
ask you, are you always looking for new talent?
Yes, and,
Okay.
and I'm
All
always looking for new outlets for music to be listened to.
Yeah.
Right. So every time I get a DJ's email, I put it boom. So that way, when I have a new song, I can send a proper email.
Yep.
And then when I look through it all, I always oh shit, what was?
I was just thinking about you said proper email for a DJ.
Yeah, so I always put it together and I just blast it out to them, and that's we're always trying to find different avenues to get the music heard on.
So who should we be
Well, I
tuning
see-
into?
I see
So
how you
my new
looking for
person
people.
I listen to when I hear these playlists, I hear all the new people that they play all the time. So I've been on some like Rome Streets.
Oh, I love Rome Streets.
I like SD Knack and Mickey Diamond's been like my top 3 that I've been
Yeah, but
listening
Essie's
to.
been out for like fucking as long as I've been around.
Yeah,
So we got Lynn to Detroit right there.
Yeah, man. So I've been like, that's been like for the last like couple of months now. I've been like, rotating all.
When are we gonna see like a Dizzy Dizasta working with Bars Over BS or any of these boutique labels in Europe that put out like all this?
So I'm getting my
nonstop
passport now, actually, because I just got booked August 2nd in Alberta, Canada, for the Puff Puff Pass event.
Okay.
So I'm getting my passport now, and that's that. Because I work with DJ Grasshopper in Europe, and we're always saying, "Yo, I'm gonna go out there. We're gonna build." So I know as soon as I touch down there, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Europe looks like it's fun for hip hop.
Europe's amazing. So I was supposed to go years ago. That's when M. Dot first started off. Crump Snatcher was supposed to go to Zurich, Switzerland, and do a series of shows in Europe with his DJ Stress. He couldn't go, and
Stress.
yep.
His rap name was Stress.
Oh, shit.
Wasn't me though.
So he couldn't go. So M. Dot just went instead. M. Dot was gonna go with him anyway, but M. Dot just went by himself because Crump, couldn't go, and that's what initiated him into the European market and stuff. So that's why I definitely want to go to Europe so bad. I know they embrace hip hop really good out there.
So you like the boom bap stuff that's popular now, but these aren't artists that came out during the past 5 years, though. I'm like wondering who of the younger generation, anyone in their 20s?
I know what you think.
Yeah.
Damn.
There's got to be somebody out there.
If anyone has slipped through the cracks here,
no, there's got to be somebody out there. I'll think because they come across like the random playlist.
You know what? I ain't even gonna stunt. There's this young cat, and he's from Mass, DJ Lucas. I've been liking him. He's been getting on.
he's a DJ.
Nah, he's a rapper.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you guys definitely do the research on him. DJ Lucas, that's part of the young crew. Oh, I would say Rio, come on. That's a new artist right now.
Who? Yeah, I don't know.
Whoa. So it's more like it sounds like more like a drill type of but he's dope, this dude named Rio. New cat. I bet you everybody listening is gonna be like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Rio.
So you're a lyrical rapper.
Yeah.
Give us a bar that like you wish you could have back. That you hear it now and you're like, fuck, cringe.
Oh, that you spit. That you were
that
like
you've spit.
Yeah.
That I've spit.
That you've spit. That you've been like, ah man, that's that one. Like when you rehear it now, like going back in your track, you're like, ah man, that right there, fuck, I could do better than that.
Oh man, I would say it has to be on End of Mumble Rap. I can't really think of it right now. Damn.
Do you remember your first rhyme ever?
Not necessarily.
Do you have one that you fucking like some rhyme that you've written before that you were like, bro, you hear it back, you're like, man, I could have came better with that bar.
It's hard to think of it, right? Like it's hard
Like,
to even think of.
way back
It's hard
when
to
I
think
was
of
a
verses on the
kid
spot
type
as it is.
shit.
So
Yeah.
Whenever, because like we all, I mean, as writers, we all have that shit. Like when you're hearing a verse back, you're like, oh,
I have
like,
so
fuck,
many
I
written-
could have said that. Like I could have put this in there instead of that. Or like the last dude said, like, what do you say? Like he's at a cash register with a child predator or something. He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, why did I say that or some
Hey,
shit?
yo.
Like it was like there's always something in there. Like it's always a bar.
Yeah, I was like at the Walmart.
Hush had a bar
Register
too. It's
next
like
to
always a
child
bar too. That you're like, fuck, man. I wish I could have said something better than that right there.
Nah,
like a
it's-
metaphor you use or some shit like that.
I couldn't really think of it because for the most part I've been content with a lot of the stuff that I've written. Like I think it out very intricately when I'm writing. So it's like,
Is there somebody else's verse where you're like, that's one of my favorite lines ever? But
oh man, see.
I know. Again, I'm putting you on the spot. Here, well, you know what? Before we get away from the WuTang stuff, because I always got to ask. So, of the first 5 albums, how do you rank them? Your favorite
there's
to
only
least
3.
favorite? No. Decal, Iron Man, Only Built for Cuban
okay.
Links, Return to the 36 Chambers, and
Well, Enter the 36 Chambers and then WuTang Forever. I love Enter the 36 Chambers, WuTang Forever, which it kind of goes in order anyway. The Only Built for Cuban Links, Supreme Clientele,
okay.
and then
Liquid Swords and
Liquid
Yeah,
Swords.
Liquid Swords.
Oh, yeah. This
Liquid
is the
Swords
guy.
is in there. You
Yeah.
got fucking Return to the 36 Chambers, ODB,
Iron Man.
Cal, Iron Man.
Right, like I wouldn't put because Supreme came later, but yeah, of those first, I was thinking, the first 5 solo albums.
It's got to be like, but Iron Man, you don't like, isn't Iron Man's almost better than the Purple Tape?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, like
I don't. That's a
Purple
that's a
Tape's
hot
classic.
take right there.
It's
That's a
close to me. It's close. Like it's
Purple Tape's
close.
classic.
So,
Yeah,
Purple
the
Tape, so
purple.
is Iron Man.
Yeah, the purple tape is first
and
for
Liquid
me.
Swords. How many skips do you have on Liquid Swords?
None.
None.
Actually.
None. You know what I'm saying?
None.
Like how many
Nah,
skips do you have on
just
Iron
play it
Man?
through.
None, but
Nothing really neither.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
you
it's
just
like
play it through. That
just
is
play it
true.
through. You know what I mean? Like,
You know, I mean, it's not.
what's the worst track on Iron Man?
I don't even.
So
I couldn't even tell you.
So I'm
neither.
saying
Yeah.
it's just like
if one album couldn't exist, which one are you going to put in extinction? Iron Man
shit.
or
Decal.
Only Built for Cuban Links? No, Iron Man or Liquid Swords.
I don't know. You know, some call me crazy, but like I like all the WuTang members, but Ray would be like one of the is Ray and U-God was one of my least out of the rest of them.
Oh, your least favorite?
Yeah, I put the rest.
you
of
don't
them
like Black
aside.
Shampoo?
Who the fuck is that?
No, that song on WuTang Forever.
Nah.
That's the word. It's like the one terrible Wu-Tang song. Like no one knows why that song's on there.
Well,
it's like
there
the
was
end of
another one I didn't like neither.
It's at the end of
Black
Dog
Shampoo.
Shit. Dog shit.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Dog Shit. You like
Yeah.
Dog
I don't like that song.
Shit? Dog Shit is fucking.
Yeah, put back
You know what?
in the backyard of
No,
someone else's
Dog Shit's
house.
one of those songs that I forgot all about.
I used to love playing that
What
song.
such an avant-garde song! Like, what a crazy
Yeah,
random.
yeah,
I have to
yeah.
go back and listen to that to see if it hold. You know what I listened to the other day to see if it held up? Fucking Kim, Eminem Kim. That song, fucking Kim, so
yeah,
long, bro. Would you like not that you can listen to that song and bump that song, but artistically, holy shit!
Yeah,
Like,
no, Dog
like-
Shit is like Kim on the Marshall Mathers LP.
but like go back
It
and listen to
is.
Kim. Like I don't know when the last time you listened to Kim was. I listened to it like a week ago, not even a week ago.
I haven't heard
I was
it
like,
in the longest.
I was taken aback at how good it
Do
was.
you find that this album
Like, and
helps?
I'm a lyrical guy. I'm got some lyrics and shit. I'm not a huge Eminem fan
You're the
either.
biggest Eminem fan ever,
so I
from
had
what
to
I've
like,
heard.
So fucking. But like that shit was like it was really good. Like it was a weird, crazy song where he's doing like all this crazy shit. But Dog Shit's kind of like that. Like it's this fucking like.
So random.
Like there's a lot with the avant-garde. Like it's to me it's hit or miss. Like because again I'm a crazy boom bap head, right? Like I like when Rock Marciano does it and everything. But like there's always like a lot of different artists like artists that I really like too. I'll hear them do the avant-garde, and I'm like,
we can go right to Sean Price because I mean you want to go like that. But even before we get there, Old Dirty Bastard. I mean his biggest hit, Brooklyn Zoo, is like a fucking 42 bar. It's like not even a 36. It's like a 42 bar, one verse, no hook song.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any fucking sense. That makes no fucking sense, like at all.
I mean, I think what everybody watching wants to know is which is your favorite member of Kill Army?
Kill Army. Oh man, I mean, I say Knife Prince. I like him. I mean,
yeah. Well, he's on the production tip too, right? So yeah.
You gotta
he's
like
Riz's he's Riz's cousin,
his
right?
brother.
His brother. Okay.
Yeah.
What's as an insider, what's a crazy WuTang story?
Yeah.
Crazy WuTang story. I got mad.
Yeah, you got mad.
Let's start with
WuTang
a crazy Capadona story. You got anything?
I'm more in tune with Capadona than all of them. All right. Well, the first time I met Capadona, it was crazy. We was chilling at the house, and then we decided to go to Denny's in Worcester. We went there, and me and my son's mother had just broken up. I remember I walk in Denny's, I seen her there. She's with some dude I know and her friend and another dude. So instantly my mind started going into fury. We all sit down, and then Cap's like, Cap's one of those dudes, he reads energies all the time. He's looking, he's like, yo, what's going on, God? And I'm like, nah, and I look back, and then he goes, what's good? And then I told him the situation, and he's like, yo, you with the gods right now. You see what you wear? We shining, we dripping over here. Look what. And he's like getting me hyped up, so I'm like, I bet. Then a dude comes up to me, he's like, yo, just to let you know, it wasn't like that. I just came with my boy, blah, blah, blah. Tried to give me daps. So I was like, boy, I was pissed, so I smacked his hand. And he's like, what you trying to do? Yo, Cap grab, he pulled me back. He's like, what you trying to do? And I was like, oh, shoot, like him, I had peoples there with me. He's the only one that he grabbed me back. He's like, what you trying to do? And the dude was like, oh, nah, chill. And then they dipped. But just the fact that he had my back, as opposed to people that actually knew me, that meant a lot to me. So yeah, that's a crazy Cap story.
Right. It's funny you bring up, Capadona being like the hip hop shaman or some like spiritual. He is like on one.
Yeah.
It's not what you would expect. Like you
he
grew up
got
on
crazy aura.
Yeah. He's an interesting dude. So what's the best Inspect the Deck story?
Oh man, Inspect the Deck. All right, so he humbled me down actually one time because, just like any rapper, you get this ego, right? When you're in a room full of rappers, even you're like, yo, I'm gonna spit the hottest verse. Forget that, you know what I mean? Boom, wrote some fire, what I thought was a fire ass verse. I get in there, I lay it down. Everybody's like, yo, that shit's fire. Deck's the only one. He's like, yo, it's fire, but that don't go to this song, B. And I'm like, oh. He's like, yeah, do something else. In the most humblest way. And I'm like, yo, oh, snap. All right, cool. Like, I'm going to take that.
Right.
So I start writing another joint, and then he comes back with some catfish and rice. and he gives me half his plate. And he's like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, it was just, it felt weird at first, but I'm like, yo, that was the most humblest experience I've ever had. But, yeah, that's my Deck story.
Even the catfish on rice.
Yeah, because I said I was hungry, and then
really sticking with the WuTang themes here.
This, so
that's funny.
Yeah, but shout out to Deck.
Who else you got? You had one that I interrupted you from.
Which one?
I don't know which clan member, but
I got so many.
So like tours. I mean, think about this. Like once again, you're a kid that is buying and stealing hip hop albums. However, you're gonna get them, older brothers, cousins, X, Y's, and Z's. And next thing you know, you're working your way through the game. First tour. Like, how do you get your first tour? What's it like finally touring with people, making money with people you used to listen to?
So I went on tour, actually, with Block McCloud, Crumb Snatcher, Cheat King from Brooklyn Zoo, Tattoo, which is Spliff Star's little brother. We went on the Adrenaline tour. It was all over United States, 7-passenger 40 Econoline van. And
like the
when
fucking,
I talk stories, I got stories for days on that tour.
Like the free candy.
Yo,
fucking
we
van.
stopped. Jimmy made sure that we stopped at every major tourist attraction along the way.
Really?
Yeah, man. It was.
Why? What was the?
Just everywhere throughout the United States. Yeah, like we went to, like he was like, yo, we out here. We might as well. We stopped at Mount Rushmore at one point. Smoked the L on Mount Rushmore. That's how this tattoo got messed up. I got it. We got
At
shout
Mount
out to
Rushmore?
Needle Freaks. They did it for us on out of love. And I fell asleep in a hot tub in South Dakota the next day. Woke up with my arms floating, and I seen ink in the water.
Oh shit!
Because it was the very next day.
I mean,
so.
there's other things you should worry about if you're falling asleep in hot tubs.
Yo,
You
it was,
could get lost here, my
I was
friend.
tripping on shrooms. It
Jeez.
was crazy. But it was fun. It was fun. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about hustling, selling yourself, turning yourself into a product. You know what I mean? Walking billboard like.
What's one of the best lessons you got from that?
That you're only as worth what you place as your worth, because people will buy anything that at any price as long as you sell it the right way.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, but on my personal life, you know, I've for the last 5 to 10 years I was selling home improvement, and I was one of New England's top roof salesmen for Owens Corning out of the country. So in the New England area, that is.
It's like this motherfucker with Verizon.
Yeah, so it helped me to implement that, because before that I was just young and thugging, promoting shows, doing afties at the crib, and I moved to the Springfield area not knowing nobody and just started doing the professional salesman life and implemented all the stuff I learned from selling myself on the streets and with the music, and made a career out of it.
It's literally the exact same thing I just did with Verizon.
Yeah. I seen that interview too. I think, wasn't that with M Dot?
No, well, I mean, I just started. Like, I just
No,
started.
but I remember on the M Dot.
Yeah. I was talking about it.
either that or with Scott. Shout out to Sando.
No, it was probably the M.Dot one because I've only been there for like 3 months, but I've already had meetings with the vice president of Verizon. Like, I'm one of the top salesmen in the country.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I'm already like, but I did the same thing. You took all that other shit and applied the same principle to a whole different arena, and excelled at it. So it's pretty. That's a pretty dope feeling too, excelling in a different arena that like you can do good in the streets, but like, okay, let's take that principle, put it in the boardroom, and be like, oh shit, I'm one of the best motherfuckers over here too. Like, that's kind of a dope feeling. Like when they recognize it, you know what I'm saying?
I put together a mixtape real quick. Shout out to DJ Corrupt and DJ Ron G. He hosted it, and my pops put it together with me. I had Sean Price on it, Terminology, Crumb Snatcher. I had mad people on it, but I put that together for the tour real quick, and I pressed up like 500 copies and was just in every city selling them, selling T-shirts, to the point where Crumb was like, yo, you selling all this? Help me sell my merch.
Right.
So I'm grabbing his CDs and selling them as well and just making money. And it's just a good feeling, and it's like I was making my way, like, you know what I mean? I wasn't just there being an expense on tour with them. I was, how much, here's $250 for the gas, whatever, and let's make it happen.
So what's a good tip for any like new artist trying to learn that? Like exactly, making yourself an asset, not a liability. But like, how were you selling all this merch? How were you successfully selling this shit?
Being comfortable with getting uncomfortable, right? There's two types of, I always tell people, like, because I do trainings to this day, right? And in any sales situation, there's two types of people, right? And we're men, so I could help you to understand it in a sense of talking to a woman, right? You go to a bar, there's that guy that goes to the shorty and is like, hey, do you mind if I buy you a drink? Can I buy you a drink? You're going to get yes or no out of that, right? She's going to, no, I'm all set. Try to tell you her girl, whatever, bullshit. Or you could say, yeah, let me get this and whatever she's drinking. Hey, what's up? My name is boom. Who's going to get further in that situation? The person that asserts the assumption, or the person that's saying yes or no? And that's the main thing. So if you got a box of
assume
CDs,
the sale
if
before
I got a box
you
of
go in.
CDs and you about to walk into the store and you got a pea coat on and some loafers and slacks, I'm still approaching you like, boom, put it in your hand. Hey, sir, boom. Hey, you like hip hop? Oh, I don't even got a CD player, but do you like hip hop? Yes, I do. Hey, blah, 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 blah. This person, I work with this person. I'm only asking a $10 donation for the support. Oh, I only got $5. I'll take $5. All right, cool. Thank you. Boom.
I mean, that is
Let's
how
make $5.
that is how terminology got me to, for the first time in my life ever, buy an album digitally. He somehow talked me into buying his album with Paul Wall. And because I've always been of the mind, why would I pay for it?
Yeah, but what he said was just, don't lose that, because what he said was just huge, because that right there is what 99.9% of the artists that are trying to make it is missing. That part right there. That
Or
exact,
even
What, self-belief?
into your merch, right?
Yeah, like, well, turning yourself into a product and selling that product. Because it's
What
like,
about snow to products?
well, it's like if you live by yourself in a 1-bedroom apartment, right? And you drop some trash on the ground, like if you don't pick that shit up, like it's gonna stay there.
Yeah.
Like, so if you don't do it for yourself, it's not going to get done.
Exactly.
So as soon as you understand the mentality of like, it doesn't matter how fucking good you are, if you don't do it for yourself,
That's why
no one is gonna do it.
That's why I don't know if y'all heard the last joint I put out, the video and everything that Sando did for me. No favors. That it just outlines that whole entire situation. Like everything I do everything I do for the most part with no favors. You know, and for the people that do look out for me, you know what I'm saying? I don't ask them. They just look because people believe in the support.
So how do you? So I was at something the other day too as well. It's kind of an interesting thing where people bragging about doing stuff without having a budget.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, that's, to me, it's amazing. If you could do that, that's amazing. That's amazing. But it's like, why sell yourself short? With that budget, you could make so much more happen. You could be on that much more of a you know what I mean? Like I got CDs right now, right? And you know what I do to help build my credit? I got the bread. I got plenty of bread. Like I said, I keep bread on me all the time. I could buy 500 C. I could buy press up 100 vinyl right now, right? But I won't pay cash for it. I'll put it like on an Affirm account and build up my credit so I could keep getting more. So not only am I incorporating that into my credit, and also building my business entity, but I'm also making sure I got product. Why? Because I know that if I get that, I'm gonna sell that and make it back. I pressed up 100 CDs on my first album trying to shortchange myself, and I sold it within the first week of getting those albums, made $3,000 on a little mere $375 investment.
Wow.
To me, that was the world.
That's dope. No, because that is the world. Because no, that literally is the world. That's your job.
Yeah.
Like, but when people try to do this thing or whatever this thing is, that part they're missing.
Yeah,
they're missing that part of it.
That work
That like you did your regular job. Then when you were done with your regular job, you hit the streets with your box of CDs, and you sold your box of CDs. And then when you were done doing that, you paid for your fucking studio time, which made you a new box of CDs. You know what I'm saying?
Like my new thing at every show I do moving forward is always request a vendor's table, no matter what. You know what I mean? At any cost. At these the weed events that I've been doing, bro, I grow myself. I'm involved with the cultivation as well community. Okay. So I'll go. I'll bring clones. I'll bring genetics. I'll trade with people, and I build with the cannabis community. And shout out to the cannabis community, because I'd say about 75% of my business revenue from music has came from the cannabis community, from T-shirts, CDs, to just overall donations because they believe in me. So, yeah. And the Massachusetts cannabis community at that too.
Yeah, it's a fun little community, the cannabis community.
Shout out to Fernway.
Yeah, fair. Shout out to Fernway. Fernway is a thing.
Let's detour over to what we were going to talk about with Boot Camp Click.
Oh,
we got Sean Price over my shoulder.
Shout out to Sean Price.
How do you meet Sean Price?
Same way with Jimmy. He gave me a budget, and Sean was on the thing. But the thing with Sean is he's always been my favorite MC. So I did more shows with him. Like I started meeting all these people around New England. This is when I was really active in the scene, and I would just book him for shows. And in the process of booking him, I would put myself on the bill. So it'd be like me and Sean Price, and then it'll say also performing other people. Yeah, like that's how I always made it look. And and shout out to Sean. He let me do my thing. And then one morning he just didn't wake up. So that was it. Really took a lot out of me. And that's why when I started focusing on doing my regular human life, getting my credit up and stuff.
that was around the moment.
Yeah, but then I wanted to come back, and then I started seeing Rusty Jukes again. Started working on this album. I reached out to him, and he's been very, very, very embracive. Shout out to Rusty Jukes. Then I started building with Louisville OGC. So we got stuff in the works. Shout out to Louisville. And the whole boot camp clique.
You said Rock too.
Rock. I got a track with Rock as well. Shout out to Rockness. He's His engineer, Brooklyn Plug, which is Spliff Star's producer as well. They've been showing me love. And shout out to Bernadette overall. Wow. I can't believe I'm mentioning all these people. I ain't even saying Bernadette Price. Shout out Bernadette. She's a big sis right there. So yeah, I've been very lucky to have a lot of different big hip hop entities around me, especially even Onyx, and having done a lot of work with them as well too.
If you were gonna introduce somebody to Dizasta, what song or music video or album would you point them towards?
I definitely would say No Favors. That's that. And then as far as the album, The Journey. Because you know what's funny is The Journey, I was working, I have like 5 other albums all sporadically that's about to be coming out real soon. I'm dropping a beat album on March 18th, depending on when this drops. But I got a lot of stuff that I'm going to be dropping. But I got into a bad accident October 2022. And I was in a coma for a couple weeks.
Oh, whoa.
And I died actually for a couple minutes.
All right, so what'd you say?
Son, I don't even remember at all. The crazy shit is I just passed out, and then I woke up with all my family like and lined up like a tunnel.
You gotta ask though. That's why you have to always ask people that, because
darkness, and I do remember like black darkness. That's about it. Like I don't remember really like seeing or having any other thoughts. I felt like I was like throwing up a bunch of times, like when I do recollect it, but yeah, I woke up.
No light,
then,
no tunnel, no fucking
none of that. I just woke up all of a sudden, and there was a lot of people just lined up like a tunnel, and then they ripped the tube out, and I had to like cough up blood and stuff. It was crazy.
Jesus. Was it a car accident?
How long were you gone for?
It was somewhat of a car accident, yeah. Huh?
How long were you gone for?
For like 2.5 weeks, I was in a coma. But yeah, it wasn't
wild.
Pretty at all. No.
Well, you're back. It's good to have you back, man.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
On the second half, the coming back part.
You live and you learn. You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations on surviving.
And it was due to me. It was due to my negligence.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. So you know, it wasn't nobody else. Nobody crashed into me or anything. It was just all my negligence. So. But I woke up, and then that's why I started recording The Journey, and it talks about it. Like halfway through it just talks about all the crazy shit, and then the second half is just calm. It's like the new chapter of life. But the next album is gonna be nothing but hard, boom, bap, straight, kick, punch, slap.
So what's your newest music out right now?
My newest music out would be we just dropped a joint called Bang On Repeat on his album that he just dropped. We just did 3 videos today, but I do have a new single that I'm about to release with Mickey Bourbon and Skanksta Rap Martyr that I produced myself. Oh, actually no, that Rigo produced. Rigo Beats, excuse me, Rigo. With cuts by DJ Grasshopper, legendary DJ Grasshopper from Europe. But yeah, and then before that, the No Favors single, and then before that, I dropped a track with SD Nack, Cemetery Dancing.
Okay.
Yep, and then that one's doing.
And where can people find all this stuff?
Spotify, iTunes, straightupentertainment.com. You could Google Dizzy Dizasta, Dizzy_Dizasta on Instagram.
Do you have music with Sean Price?
I do, so I'm gonna take it down because I got a re-release of it, and it's gonna be fire.
Just the one track? Or?
I have 2 tracks with him.
2 tracks with him. Okay.
One of them's already released. That it was on my mixtape with Ron G and Corrupt.
What's crazy is almost everyone that sits over there is cross paths with Sean Price, like in like a intimate way, like as like a human being.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, so give us because we got to ask. We ask everybody. Give us a Sean Price story.
So far, I got a few stories. All right, Sean, right?
Yeah, come on.
We'll start with the first one, right? When the day he met my pops, right? So I was working, right, and I was a manager at the spot. So I'm like, "Yo, pops, you got to pick up Sean Price at PF Cutting."
Now hold on. Does your father? Oh, so your father's hip. Your father's hip.
He knows already, right?
Shout out. Because it's funnier if it's like his father.
Yeah, right. So he dropped, but he looks like a white boy, right? Because my pops is French Irish.
Okay.
So, but he speaks Spanish, so right. So he drives to New York. He scoops them up and shit, and they're like, yo, yeah, Dizzy's father. They think they white boy in him and shit. So my pops breaks down who he is. So they all become friends, right? Then next thing you know, Sean, he comes to my house. They all meet me. Sean starts scolding me like he's my dad. He's like, yo, you need to stop talking to your pops like that. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck just happened? Like, and then PF Cut comes around the corner, and he's looking just like my pops. They look like twins and shit. And I'm like, yo, what is going on? Yo, so that's one story. Another story. Yo, I'm chilling in Manchester, New Hampshire. We had a great show. We sold out more than 2 Chainz the week before. He was there the week before. We had a better show than that. Same place. So I'm celebrating. I got a shorty in the hotel. You know, we about to get it in. Yo, she's on top of me doing her thing, and then Sean comes through the door. Boom. And I'm like, oh shoot, oh boom, boom, holding shorty. And then he's like, yo, hold on. He's just talking to Bernadette on his iPad and stuff, because he's just, you know what I mean? He's like, everybody's being noisy, you know what I mean? Like, and no, it was PF and my pops, they were listening to music. So he's like, yo, I just want privacy. And I'm like, yo, what you doing? Like, he's just like, yo, say hi to Bernadette. I'm like, hey, Miss Price. I'm like, yo, it was just the weirdest thing ever. But then he goes, yo, peace. And then he just walks out, leaves the door open. I'm like, damn, yo. I had to get up and shit, think I'm swinging.
Motherfucker.
That was the craziest story
Yeah,
ever,
that's
yo.
wild. I mean, not too many people can say Sean Price walked in on them while having sex. So.
Did he have
She
the
was like
potato
mid-riding
wallet?
me, yo. She's like, oh my God. Yo, I don't even know how he got in, bro. That was crazy.
That's fucking wild. Fucking so, you guys meet through music?
Yeah. So, so he hit me up. He wanted to build. And
Hell
he
yeah.
came out.
So you know Sam? You've been on Sam's show?
Nah.
No.
I met Sam in person
Okay.
He's been
And,
played on the show.
at Uncle 38, one of his shows like a couple years ago, probably like 4 or 5 years ago in Syracuse.
How long you been making music for?
Shit, for a long time, but seriously, like
Yeah.
for the last like 3 years.
Okay.
Like on the scene.
Where does his name Sauce Yin come from?
Oh man. Someone gave me that name because I had to change my name. My name used to be YD, and then I had to change that because it's a more like a family name, and too much came with that shit too.
What do you mean family name?
Like everybody in my family calls me YD. Like,
Okay.
That's what I'm known as. Like in Rochester, that's what everybody calls me. They don't call me Sauce.
So you don't want to have the name that everyone calls
Yeah.
you?
Hell nah.
Why not? 'Cause that's like more
Yeah.
like
Nah,
that's
because
isn't that
it's
the way
like
like you
brand recognition.
marketing and brand recognition.
Yeah, but shit came with that, and like I did a lot of crazy shit when I was younger with that.
Once again, brand recognition,
nah.
marketing, hip hop. Nah.
Well, now I don't know, cause I used to do fucking all that crazy ass trap music and all that shit when I was younger, but
What kind of music you making now?
boom bap strictly.
Okay.
Yeah, what
So
led
it's
to
like-
the?
Are you
what
a-
made you switch it up?
All my life I've been in them rooms like with Uncle 38, like you feel me? Like I used to make beats for his nephews back then. Like I wasn't rapping at all. I was a producer first.
Uncle 38.
Yeah, 38 Special.
Oh, 38 special.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. I didn't realize. Yeah, I dig his shit.
So
I was
you
just
make
listening
beats
to
too?
him and Benny the
Yeah,
Butcher on the
hell
way
yeah.
here.
You're a rapper. You make beats.
Both.
Both. Okay. So everyone's just we
And
come from I'm 40. I'm almost 45. So like literally back in the day you did one or the other.
Yo,
it's like
Alchemist inspired a lot of people.
yeah, a lot. Well, the whole. I'm sure Kanye had a lot to do with that shit too. Because when he first came in, he was like just
It was
bitching
Alchemist
about
for me, though.
how like you gotta admit when Kanye first came in on his boom bap shit, like it was dope.
Kanye would listen
a
just because of his
cold
earlier days.
Yeah,
I still
You still got to give him the shit because of how he came through the door like that,
Cold,
like on that shit.
Cold.
But it's kind of the thing. So you make boom bap beats.
Facts.
Okay.
I'm
Because I'm curious to know, because like you come across, I don't know if you high as shit, but you come across like mad like super like not slow, but like chill and like very paced.
Nah, I be
and he likes
chilling.
chopped
So I'm
and screwed.
Yeah,
We
so
were
that's
discussing this
what I'm
earlier.
saying. You was talking about that earlier. So I'm like, okay, boom bap, but you're hitting the beat hard. Are you bringing energy with it, or you kind of just laid
Nah,
back on
I'm
it?
super aggressive when I'm on the mic, though.
'Cause, yeah, I'm thinking of like a currency or something, you know?
Hell nah.
Okay. Damn,
trying to think.
Hell nah.
you're like DMX.
I'd say like he's like a cross between Sticky Fingers and Cannabis.
Oh shit! So you are like DMX.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so like it's like the exact opposite. Like not what you would think.
Wait,
right?
so Sauce? How did you get the name? We still didn't get to the bottom of how you got the name Sauce Yin.
Shit.
It's like WuTang, Sauce Yin.
Nah, it was just one day at the studio, like, because I was telling people I just want to change my name, like, in my certain group at the time. You know what I mean? And It was just like it was a certain studio session where, like, I snapped for some reason. Like I just snapped like on a verse type shit. And when I came back out, they was like, "Nah, you gotta be sauce, bro. You got that sauce when you go in the studio. Like you just straight snap, bro. You snapping right now." And I'm like, "Sauce, bro." He like, "Yeah, bro. And we getting to this fucking money, so you gotta be saucy." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, that shit sound hard though. That shit is hard though, but it took me like a week or two.
It's making me think of Swavsky talking about getting his name.
I'm like, what the
Sauce.
fuck, bro? Should I change my name to Saucy? And that shit is hard though.
Yeah.
But it took me like 2 weeks to really think about it because I'm like, nah, should I keep YD? But it was like, something had happened throughout them 2 weeks where I was like, I'm pissed the fuck off. I got to change this whole fucking name. I'm done with all this shit.
You're like, no more trap music. I'm doing boom bap now.
I'm super curious to hear some of your music. So like you said, it mixed between Sticky Fingers and Cannabis.
Yeah.
So like Cannabis is like extra long, like let out like metaphors.
Yeah.
Like you're talking shit. That's like that's kind of what you.
But also in that voice, that like
like so
he's got the
grimy ass raspy voice.
Yeah. So
like I always try to. I was fucking with him earlier. We was at the studio. I was
you don't come across that way.
I was doing the hook the way he does our hook, right? So he's like smoking weed out of $100 bill.
Wait, so is 38 Special from Rochester? Or,
yeah.
Okay, he is.
Hell
okay.
yeah.
So how did? Because I love 38 Special's shit. I didn't realize that. He's a beast.
Actually, yo, that's probably one of my top 5s right now too.
Yeah,
he's one of those people too that extends the bar out to get the metaphor.
Yeah, no, he does. You're right. Actually, I'm like literally pulling up to the studio today. I was listening to Benny the Butcher.
Every time I listen to him, I catch myself doing one of these.
Yeah, no, he's a beast. So, did you know him like coming up before music or?
Nah.
Okay.
So I met his nephews first. Like,
because he's a little older. He's like our generation.
I was
40s,
like 9, 10 years old. I was like, like 20 years ago.
Okay.
I met them because I learned how to make beats at 7 from this dude named Max Bailey. He fire. He knew how to do everything.
Okay.
Every type of music type shit.
7 years old, just making beats. That in itself is interesting.
Yeah, hell yeah. It was like FL4 at that time.
I got my daughter making beats right now.
Oh, really?
Play though. She's 5.
But
that's awesome.
Yeah, I ended up meeting his nephew Suave and Major, Recipe Suave, and then at that time, since I was already making beats, they was like, "Yo, come through," because I told them we met at the store type shit. They like, "Yeah, we rap and shit," and I'm like, "Y'all rap? I make beats." And they like, "All right, we."
So you're 7 years old, being like, "I make beats."
No, at 9.
Okay, all right. Well, that means it's the same thing.
And then so I bring over my laptop to their house, and we just like, it just became a thing where it was for years. Like for years, we was going to their attic making beats. They had a little mic and shit, but we ain't know how to fucking mix and master and none of that shit. That shit was like, we was trash at that shit at that time. But I was making beats. By the time we got to like 13, like 14, Spesh had a studio in Charlotte, which is next over to Rochester, right? He had a studio right across the street from the 7-Eleven over there. And my cousin Pi, he was the one engineering for Spesh for years.
Okay.
So, which he's Hovanisi now. That's what they call him now. But it was like he had a certain room, like the big studio in Charlotte, right? And then we had a little room. Like he made a little room where we had our own computer in there where we could make beats with all the software and shit. And then we had a mic in there and shit like that.
Who's he fucking with at this point in time?
Yeah.
Spesh?
Yeah. I mean, because he has like studios and shit. Is he on yet? I mean, how long?
Spesh doing his own thing. He knows how to make beats now and mix and master.
But was this is pre Griselda?
This is pre Griselda and all that shit, right?
That's before. That was before Griselda.
Was it still Trust?
It was Trust.
It was.
Yeah,
it was already.
It was him, Benny the Butcher, Class Murder, Green Double.
Okay.
And then you still had other rappers behind like people that took me in after all that run, like after all those years when I came out, I went with Ty Villain.
So but I'm saying you guys are just little kids, and like Benny the Butcher and 38 Special, like kind of walking around. You guys are kind of little kids when they had the older dudes in the room, kind of.
We thought it was we ain't know like this shit was gonna be big.
Right,
like,
right.
We just thought you just being around them, it was just normal.
Now, are they there telling you that this is gonna blow up and it's gonna be big? We're gonna be big. Are they saying it or?
Nah, we was just in the studio as little dudes, just walking around. Like when we got to a certain age, we was smoking blunts in there, and just chilling, just like it was just normal. Just Benny here, or Special here, Uncle Special here, or Class Murder just walked in. Like,
But they're not nationally known acts at this point in time, or are they?
they was hot at that time, but not as hot as now.
Okay.
Like they really
What year are you
ooh,
talking?
Yeah, what? That's good.
Shit.
10 years ago, 5 years ago.
When they had that studio in Charlotte, that was like, I was like 13, 14 around that time. So that's like 09. Yeah, that's like.
So they're not like on shady
That's
records
like
and
from
shit yet.
07 to like.
yeah,
Right, Tana Talk has
See, they're like they're big to
Nah,
him because he
hell
knows who
nah.
they are, but they're not like
yeah.
like we don't know them yet.
in Boston.
In Boston.
Well,
Yeah, because I didn't hear about
Yeah.
them until about 5 years ago.
So yeah,
5 or
y'all
6 years
probably
ago.
didn't know about
That's what I'm
them
saying.
at
Yes,
that
they're
time.
not. So so it's like you're walking around pre like shady records, pre like national world tours, pre like Lamborghinis and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're
'Cause
walking
at that
around
time-
like, which is pretty cool. If like people
Well,
walk around, be like, we're gonna do this. and
Was
then-
it pre Lamborghini? Because they're owning studios. They're supposedly deep in the
Lamborghinis
drug
are
game.
fucking $500,000
so, yeah.
cars and shit. But we know what we're saying. But no, that's cool. So I mean, eventually, like, so one day do things change, like there? Because I mean, at some point, now where they are is like obviously like they're global.
Well, sir, well, not with them. Like, ain't shit happen with them, but like, I say shit like this. At that time at the studio, there were certain people that shouldn't have been there. That kind of fucked all that shit up with the trust and all that shit. You feel me? At that time, that had certain people like feeling some type of way about each other and shit like that. You know what I mean? But as kids, they kept us far away from all that crazy shit though. But we still
Was it as wild as they say it is in the records?
Yeah.
Because they talk some, some shit.
Trust.
It's some shit that happened, man. It's some
Buffalo's a wild place.
Yeah, Buff, Rochester, all that shit is fucking crazy as fuck, bro.
But
That
you know
shit
it's a
crazy
wild
as
place
fuck.
though. Is Massachusetts.
Worcester.
Everywhere
Worcester.
crazy.
So who's out?
son.
Who's out in the scene in Worcester?
As of right now,
Yeah.
I mean,
Is that where you're?
I'm from Worcester, but
I see you got the Springfield shirt
I
on.
live in Chicopee, Massachusetts.
You live in Chicopee from Worcester, got the Springfield shirt on, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
So, I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
Yeah, you
you're just
really
Western,
represent.
Central Western
Bro,
Mass.
I'm Massachusetts. I've touched every part of Massachusetts. I be around all throughout Massachusetts. People that make music in the game in Massachusetts, they know me. I know them. You know, it's all love. Each one teach one. I've been around the scene for a long time, in and out. But for the most part, I've been involved heavily. You know, so.
What's your biggest accomplishment?
Oh man,
Thing you're most proud of
most proud of.
that you've accomplished through music?
Through music, I mean, I'd say the fact that I have music with Sean Price.
There you go.
That to me is like, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm so happy that it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My next thing that I need to do is to work with DJ Premier, bro. Like that you see how I'm smiling even more
Yeah.
right now.
Well,
bro?
these are these things. Yeah, like that's like it doesn't matter what it is.
That's
like,
that hardest bars of my life moment right there.
Yeah, to use
so
terminology.
why not? So why not work with him?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been in a situation where I was around them. I guess like
You gotta try, man.
It's so weird because
Gotta try.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Right, you're
You
the
gotta try,
hustler
man.
here.
You gotta try.
You're right.
You're the one
you're
talking
the
about. You
team
gotta put
leader.
yourself
You know what's
forward.
funny? You know what's funny is that's how I got involved with the whole infamous Amadeus and Punchline Academy. Is I kept seeing them. He kept posting events. So I was like, you know what, Bong, I'm gonna just go. He's like, yeah, pull up. It's the open cipher. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna act bougie with what I've done in my life. I'm just gonna go. Boom. So I went. I booked a couple nights of hotel and went out there. Did the cipher with them, and then he called me back to do a show. Did a show. Then he called me back to do one day. He just hit me up. He's like, yo, we got a last minute postpone or whatever. Do you want to come by tomorrow to do the Punchline event at Vinny Idol spot? I'm like, psh, hell yeah. And that's how I linked up with Vinny Idol and was able to work with him. So I went there, prepared, ready to go. And I did my thing. Lou Castro, shout out to him. Shout out to Punchline Q. It was a really good event. And that's how I was able to get on the Shade 45 platform and be involved with the whole Amadeus situation. But yeah, implementing. So
You gotta manifest.
I
man.
gotta see when Premiere's out next, and then go head out to New York. But my dude, Nefarious DJ Neff, he's Static Selector's protege as well. But he be out there all the time, and he left New Hampshire to move to New York, and he's always around Premiere as well. I'm like, damn, good for you, man. Like that's.
It's crazy because like when you're if you write 16s, chances are like that's one of the.
But I'm sure it's also going to cost me a couple.
It's going to cost everybody. Yeah, but Biggie paid for the fucking.
But yeah, of course,
like, everyone
it's
paid
worth
for
it. It's
everyone
worth it.
pays for it. It's called investing in your fucking craft, man. And
Like every time I work with an artist, I try to make sure that I bless them because I'm like, yo, like even when I get verses like given to me like off the love, I'll be like, yo, what's your Cash App or whatever? Boom, yo, here. I wish I could give you more, but I feel like you worth something. Yo, I appreciate you blessing me with the verse, but bang, and they love that. You know what I mean? And that's why they keep, shout out to Bad Seed. He's one of those dudes that look out like that as well. He's a for the culture kind of guy, and that, you know what I mean? Like, it's good to have good dudes. Like for the most part, a lot of dudes in this game, they're good dudes, and it's like I think that's why they keep that culture thriving, is because it's a lot of positivity. It's just the back end that really keeps it grounded, hence underground.
Word. Speaking of underground and above ground and all that shit, one question we ask a lot of people is, what is the best like song that was commercially successful that is also like good under hip hop circumstances? Like it's also got the bars, it's also like a dope ass song, but it like blew the fuck up.
Oh man, I don't know how much blown up that you would say, but that Nas is I Know I Can. I love that.
There's one.
A lot of
God,
Come
I
and
hate
Go.
that song.
I hate that song too.
Come and Go.
I like the message though.
Go.
Come and Go, yeah, Go
Oh
is
my
dope.
God, like there's so many songs from that era that I would say that.
But that wasn't. It was Go. Go. Yeah, Go was close. Go was close. Go was close.
All right.
I think that album went platinum. I believe it was close.
That album is amazing.
See, like we got like Passing Me By, Slam.
Passing Me
I got
By.
5 on it. It's on the one.
Yeah, Hip Hop Parade, OPP.
Yeah, fucking Hip Hop Parade.
Renee.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
With Cheeks.
Shout out to Mr. Cheeks.
Called you actually. Well,
Mr. Cheeks just called me.
it said cheeks.
Yo, and that's not. Yeah, that's a whole other type of
Well,
cheek.
no, he has called before,
Yeah.
and we did interview him, and I was going to bring up. We had him on the show.
I've had him. So what? You know what's funny is back in the day. So that was part of what I used to do too, right? Yo, when I first started working with WuTang management, I got the go ahead to do this thing called Straight Up TV, right? And so what I would do is my boy had a nice camera, and I would take him to shows and just be like, yo, we're WuTang management, Straight Up TV. And just walk through and they'd be like, all right, cool. They let us go backstage. So if you go on, if you YouTube me, I got like maybe like 5-10 little quick interviews that I did just to build with people.
Yeah.
It's just by with WuTang, Straight Up TV.
The perks of the big camera.
I want to get back to it, but I also just don't want to walk away from this.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is in your phone with the name Cheeks? Right? Like you put that in your phone with the name Cheeks? Like, all right, something's going on there.
There's a Georgia Beach
something's going on there. All right, something's going on there. But yeah, but Mr. Cheeks, which was cool about that was the song Renee you just brought up was he said that Brenda's Got a Baby was the song that he heard that inspired him to make that song. And Renee's like about a true story, but he's like it not only let him like write about something that wasn't like his like from third person.
Yeah.
It also was something like he didn't have to be hard. Like he could write like something that was like a story from like someone else's perspective
But
and
his
shit.
delivery was still hard.
No, it's just dope that song wouldn't have came out if like Brenda's Got a Baby didn't like. Because now in hip hop you can write anything you want. Like
Even that beat alone, like if you just threw that on in a cipher, you could spit any type of bars. To
which
that
one
beat.
though? There's two beats to that. There's the original beat and then
The
there's
original one that was like, ding,
it was more like Jamaican and shit. And the other one that was on MTV was like a whole different beat. We talked about that shit too.
Is there an album from Golden Era that you would say was overlooked at the time that you feel like, wow, that was a classic?
Ooh, Golden Era album. So now I'm like, hold on.
Right, I know this is definitely going to work out the mental Rolodex here.
Oh man,
I got
but see, I don't think this was slept on, so I can't say it. But
you can say it. This is
JayZ,
safe space.
The Life and Times, Volume 2. Volume 2.
Okay, actually, yeah, I'd say that is almost fair.
Really, the one we standing in front of the car, the Bentley.
Yeah, with the gray and the black.
That did have a bunch of hits.
That was
on
volume.
it, though.
That was volume 3. The gray one was volume 3.
Yeah. Volume 3.
Volume 3, because volume 2 was like the one that was super commercialized.
Yeah. No, it's the one with all the DJ Premier joints on it.
I was waiting for him to say Gravedigger 6 Feet Deep. That's what I thought.
Gravedigger's a shout out to Fruit Quan.
I thought you were going
You know
with
what I'm
Gravedigger 6 Feet Deep. That was definitely because like unless you like knew about that, like you didn't know about that.
Did I ever tell you about young Ian getting caught shoplifting that cassette tape?
You've told us that story like I don't know 5 or 6 times by now. By now, fucking. You brought up Nas real quick though before we go. Best Nas album.
It was Rent in 1996. That's
See?
my favorite.
This is
Interesting.
It's like
'Cause
always like.
but I
always,
was born in 96, and to me
he's ready to go.
me that was my best album.
This is the most passionate he's been so far.
That was like
he finally woke up.
like that was the album like at probably like around like 6, 7. My sister played that shit and I did not skip one fucking track on that shit. I fell in love with the fucking whole album and I said, what the fuck is this? And I stole the album from her and I fucking had that shit forever.
Yeah.
And she fucking reminded me until she fucking passed away. But bro, that shit was crazy, bro. Like that album right there, nobody could touch that fucking album in my house.
You don't agree, do you?
Nah, so I would say initially it's gonna be the Illmatic, right? But Stillmatic, and the reason why
Oh shit!
and the reason
Here we go.
why is because the whole
Hot take.
JayZ beef sparked him. You know what I'm saying? So that was like a Nas, like I'm ready to go, Nas. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's when you had
He had Rewind was
I got
on
a
that
bunch of
one.
Bullets in the bag again, so pass it to me. Come on, but like all those catchy songs.
That was awesome. He had Rewind on that.
Yup, Ron Browse producing on that. Like,
That was a good one, a good track. He had a bunch of good tracks in that.
Dude, honestly, Godson is an amazing album.
Godson
front to
is
back.
fire.
Godson is an
Yes.
amazing
See,
album.
but that's
is.
personal. Like that's like a because you looking. So
I
with
love
me,
that
when
album,
you
too.
talking
I
boom
ain't
bap
gonna
with a
lie.
guy like me, and you say what kind of boom bap you like, I'd say I'm a violent boom bapper, right? Like I came from realistically, like once I got involved with the WuTang things and I started exploring hip hop, once I heard La Coca Nostra, it was a rap.
Oh, shit.
And once I started going down that avenue, it was a rap. That's when I like dark hip hop, you know. So, I was like,
Huh, interesting.
Well,
so when I see the Stillmatic, I'm like, that's the Nas that I really rock
but
with.
what about the Untitled album then?
Oh, the end?
Because that album,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because like so, like
That's not-
this. No.
No.
Because when you know the story behind the album
Nah,
and you
yeah.
know why it's called what it's called and you know to see the cover of the album and you understand the whole thing, what he did and what he did at the Grammys and how he refused, even the song Hero, he's talking about how he refused to change the name of the album, so he's going to call it fucking Untitled. The
That
whole shit
Hero
is dope.
song is actually just it's fire because that is it's so hip hop and it's like top 40 sound at the same time. It's
Super
insane.
So you're talking about violent like boom bap hip hop music. Like I distinctly remember like last summer or two ago with like my homie who was a little younger, trying to show him some nice stuff and being like driving through like Cohasset, like which is a nice beach town, and being like, oh, you want to hear some shit like in the summertime? I'm like, roll the windows down, put the sunroof open, and we're putting the Untitled, and we're letting it play like in traffic and shit. Like, yo, it's like this shit is like he's talking some shit in this. You know what
I'm gonna have to go back to it. I don't remember a single track off that.
Bro,
album.
that's the one, the Large Professor joint, Locomotion, bro. Crazy.
Yeah,
like,
that album's fire too.
He got some shit on that album, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling
I'll
you.
have to take a trip back.
And the fucking album with Khaleesi's dress on the cover. The fuck is that album called? It's like one of the last ones. No, actually, he's got like
wearing
10.
a suit, right?
Yeah, it's like, but he's got her wedding dress, the green dress in the front.
Something the throne, right, or something like that.
I forget the
what
fucking
I know
name
what
of it
you're
is.
talking about, though.
But it's got that album's fucking crack too.
King's Disease.
No, that's also a
That's
good
what I
album.
meant, King's Disease.
King's Disease, but he had 3 King's Disease and 3 fucking of the he got 6 of those albums. But nah, it's the one. It's the one with
Magic. There's one. That
what
was
the
the
fuck
other
is it
one,
called? I
2,
forget what
3.
it's called. But he's on the cover with Khaleesi's fucking wedding dress.
Oh yeah, something like this type of life or something.
And it was like his album that's compared to the JayZ album. What, it freeze? No, it's like his album compared to the 444 album. It was like that fucking thing. But yo, guys, it's been dope. It's been dope as shit.
Yes.
You know, appreciate you guys coming down.
I definitely couldn't give you something that's gonna exceed that last one, but I hope I definitely dropped enough gems.
You don't want
and
to
jewels.
You don't want to call me a racist and a cracker.
Nah, listen. First and foremost, I just want to say that it's an honor for me to even be here. Like you guys got a platform that I've always looked up to. First and foremost,
Appreciate you.
This dude's always been on his grind, and I've seen him too. Like I said, I've known Jimmy for so long, and I know you've known Jimmy for so long because I've always heard you, and I've always, you know what I mean. So I appreciate you guys even, letting us be on your platform and doing this. It's an honor.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you coming through, man, and doing. Appreciate you coming with them and and all that,
and
man.
I will say by the end of this year, my shit's gonna be so John Blaze that we gonna have to do a round 2. I will tell you that.
Yeah, hopefully by the end of this year, hopefully by the end of today, we go back. We could be 1 million plus right now. Who even fucking knows what's happening right now, man? So one by one, this camera. Where can they find all you on social media? Find your music, all that, and then we can get you afterwards. Okay?
Yes. Dizzy Dizasta, Instagram Dizzy_Dizasta, David James on Facebook. You can find me on Snapchat, SoundCloud, Dizasta508, Dizzy Dizasta. Google it. Everywhere and anywhere.
Sauce
Without
Yin.
dreads.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Sauce Yin everywhere. Just at Sauce Yin everywhere. Like all this DSPs, all that shit, Instagram, all that. So yeah, hell yeah. We working all the time.
The best thing was just Google my name.
I
pop
will
up.
say this. I don't really take the time to work with other artists like that and involve them into my endeavors. So me having him here like that and just bringing him and just him being around, this dude is on his ground, man. I see a lot of people doing their thing, but I respect his hustle. He's an introvert right now, but
I'm super curious to hear I'm sticky fingers and cannabis.
Yeah.
I'm not getting sticky fingers
hear the
or
bar
cannabis.
work.
No, I know it's just one of those things. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yep.
And I honestly, I'm it has to be something crazy because I'm trying to picture him spitting bars, and I'm he's just so
do you want to spit something right now?
take your fucking time with it. What you got?
Hey yo.
Actually, do you, Dizzy?
what?
You want to spit something right now?
I mean, I never mind spitting some shit.
Okay.
Hush, can we even pull a beat through?
I wasn't even thinking a beat, but
We
we.
haven't ran a test with it since we switched it. Fucked up.
Acapella? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
that's what I was thinking. But
Acapella, yeah.
you want to beatbox, Chris?
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
beatbox. I don't know how to beatbox.
I don't either.
You know how to beatbox?
I don't even know how to whistle.
Sicker than the average, master this rapping shit. Y'all sweeter than Sour Patch Kids. You just getting the glimpse of this life I'm living. You ain't built for that type of pain. Who you kidding? Young is lost in the system. No type of guidance, end up dead or in prison. Or a deadbeat family to the children, but nobody wanna listen. Switch up the vision. Familiarity breeds content. To keep up with current events, look at the money you spent. Do the knowledge. Every day is a hustle. Get that paper. The ones that say money ain't everything's either broke or a hater. Shorty want me up in her mouth as to absorb all my data, facilitating favors and reprimanded for misbehavior. The moves be major. Get involved, don't get it fucked up. I'll murder you lames and dispose of your bodies in dump trucks. Ain't been the same since I died and came back. I call it dumb luck. Either way, the Lord can say that he got a one up. Divide and conquer, and I conquer by any means. The weapon steam rappers get you extra lean off of the beef, but I want the whole cow. Fuck milk in the game, one and the same till that metal bangs and exposes your brains. Your thoughts all over the floor. I can see what you thinking. You ain't ready for war. I straight level your jaw with a swinging back fist. Rappers nowadays all catfish, claiming they banging but they never clap shit. I must be living under a rock, no Patrick. You a problem? Stop, I'm the answer. Fuck a practice. Suffer from severe migraines when I hear whack shit. It's probably why I'm always high out of my mind when you see me at shit.
Damn.
Okay.
Jeez, yeah.
So under a rock, no Patrick.
Beast mode
What
right
you got,
there.
my man? He said nope. He said not today. Not today. It is what it is,
That
man.
was dope. That was
Yo,
dope,
that was
Dizzy.
dope
That
as
was
shit,
dope.
man.
Yeah.
Yo, appreciate you guys coming through, man. Yo, Van, you want to tell these motherfuckers anything, man?
Like and subscribe.
Yo, Sense lives, Molly forever. Fuck
Big
Kurt
Dookie
Schilling.
chain.
Peace.
Peace.